This is The Top, where I interview entrepreneurs who are number one or number two in their industry in terms of revenue or customer base. You'll learn how much revenue they're making, what their marketing funnel looks like, and how many customers they have.
I'm now at $20,000 per talk.
5 and 6 million.
He is hell-bent on global domination.
We just broke our 100,000 units sold mark.
And I'm your host, Nathan Latka.
Okay, Top Tribe, this week's winner of the $100 is Rick Siegmund. Rick Siegmund. He is stuck brick and mortar business. That is his focus. So congratulations, Rick. If you guys want to win $100 every Monday on the show, in order to enter, simply subscribe to the show on iTunes now, and then text the word Nathan to 33444. Again, text the word Nathan to 33444. Folks, many of you reach out to me and you say, Nathan, so many guests on your show talk about the importance of batching. But whenever I try and batch, you tell me this. You go, Nathan, they don't book back-to-back times. Or they don't show up after they book. It's frustrating. The answer is, guys, you have to use smart tools. I use a tool called Acuity Scheduling at nathanlatka.com/schedule. I'll tell you specifically how I use it later on in the episode. This is episode 543. My name is Nathan Latka, and be sure to tune in tomorrow morning where I talk to Eric Boggs. He was a former competitor of mine at Heyo. Now he's running RevBoss, which did $700,000 in 2015 revenue. They're doing about, again, $90,000 per month now in January 2017. And they're helping customers drive revenue by getting them B2B leads. Again, I will acquire a business in the B2B lead space here very soon. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat to get behind-the-scenes details. Good morning, guys. Nathan Latka here. Our guest this morning is Andrei Breaz. He's currently the founder and CEO of Bant.io, a B2B leads company. Before that, he was founder at Captify, which was acquired by Well Investments. And before that, he was working as an STL, specifically on the VMware account at Hardy Hanks, and has many, many more kind of experiences in the B2B sales space. We'll focus on Bant.io today. Andrei, are you ready to take us to the top?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, tell us what the company does, Bant.io, and what's your revenue model? How do you make money?
Okay, so in essence, what we do, we initiate conversations for other companies. We're solely talking about B2B companies here. So we engage in conversations with their ideal prospects, and once they respond with interest, that's when we forward the leads and they continue the conversation from where we left off, and they work on closing the deal. That's to simply put it. There's much more behind it. I will say they get access to an analytics dashboard as well, so it looks like a SaaS-based business model, but it's also a service that we're providing because we need to and we have to hold our customers' hands through the whole process.
So, Andrei, just to be clear, this is we only have 15 minutes, so I want to make sure we figure this out quick. This is basically, if somebody doesn't want to hire their own sales team and have headcount expenses, they can basically buy your services and you act as basically a sales team, finding the lead, getting the lead hot, and then passing the hot lead off to be closed by the company. Is that accurate?
Yeah, pretty much. I wouldn't say sales, but more like prospecting and lead generation stage, very close to pre-sales rather than actually closing the sale.
Okay, are you any different than these companies where you go and say, download 1,000 targeted leads that have a team of 10 people in the B2B enterprise space and they shoot an Excel sheet? How are you different than that?
Yeah, so first of all, we don't sell data. It's not what we do. We use the data that we generate using our own software, and that has a lot more data points than any other spreadsheet that you can buy off the shelf out there. I'm talking about really advanced data points that we're using in the campaign. You can start, apart from the basics, you can just think about the technology that they're using on their website, how much they're spending on third-party technologies, even whether they're a male or a female, or are they part of a certain group on LinkedIn, any connections that they share in common. So really hundreds of data points that we're using, and again, for each industry, each campaign, it's a different set of data points that we have to use.
And then give us an idea. You said your pricing model is kind of a combination of SaaS plus professional services. What's the average customer paying you per month?
Well, I wouldn't say, the delivery is more like a combination. But yes, you are correct. It's a monthly subscription that they're paying. The average, I would say, is the medium plan. That's our most popular one. It's almost $1,200 a month.
Okay.
That includes all the prospecting, all the campaign creative and everything else, the whole strategy. It's a customized strategy that we're bringing for each client. And it comes with a guarantee as well, with a 100% money back guarantee.
What's the guarantee around?
Around the number of hot leads. Because what you see on our plans, that's the minimum that we guarantee, 100%. It's usually a lot more than that. But again,
how do you know if it's a hot lead, though? That sounds pretty subjective.
Our definition of a hot lead, because we're working with cold email outreach, is basically a positive reply with immediate interest in their product or service.
How do you know if the reply is positive?
Basically,
Andrei, how do you get around, this happens all the time, how do you get around the situation where somebody pays you, you say, here's 1,000 hot leads, we're guaranteeing they're hot leads, we know they're hot leads, the customer gets the list and goes, no, only 80% of these are hot leads. Then there's a debate. How do you work out that debate?
Okay, so the 1,200, those are the quality leads. Those are the prospects that we're reaching out to, the ideal prospects or customers that we're reaching out to on their behalf. The hot leads are a lot less, like 10 to 15 hot leads. Those are the guaranteed ones. There's usually very little debate around the hot leads. And even if there is, we usually deliver a lot more than that minimum. So that's always covered. If it's not, for some reason, then we always offer a full refund.
I see. Okay, what year did you launch the business in?
Pardon?
What year did you launch the business in?
A year and a half ago.
So late 2014?
Early 2015, I would say.
Okay. And have you bootstrapped or have you raised capital?
Self-funded. Yeah, you could say bootstrapped. It all started as, this was basically the process that I've used to grow Captify. I needed an effective and efficient sales process and lead generation process. So this is the same process, or almost the same process that I used. And then from there on, it evolved into Bant.io as a standalone service. And here we are.
And so today, December 2016, how many customers are you working with on a monthly basis? Again, it looks like a SaaS model, but their needs are a bit different because many of them come on and off. So existing ones right now active, considering we've got holidays approaching fast, we're around 30, 31 active ones. But remember, those are the ones that have existing campaign right now. So in your highest month over the past year, how many actives did you have in a single month?
Around 50, 55. But I'd also like to mention that we're now up until now, we were in a sort of a discovery phase. So we never really started to ramp things up and made all the efforts to scale things up. And this is something that we're planning for next year, for 2017.
Okay. And I know it fluctuates because people come and go and you have holiday season, etc. But if you have a $1,200 ARPU times the 3,100 customers, is it fair to kind of guesstimate that you're doing about 37 grand in monthly recurring revenue?
Yes, that would be pretty much accurate. I would say around almost 400K in revenue for the past year. Yeah, okay. But considering that, considering the strategies that we've got lined up for the next year, I would say we're now aiming for 1.5 million at least for next year.
Okay, and in 2015, what was total revenue? Do you remember?
Don't have that in front of me, but again, it was a lot less. This year, I would say that we were still in a discovery phase and learning a lot about the clients that we can help, because we got approached by various clients from industries that you wouldn't even think of, and they were able to, and we were able to manage successful campaigns for them, and some of them are still with us for the past 6-8 months.
Can you name, Andrei, one or two of the clients using you, just so we can kind of really put color around the ideal customer you're working with?
Really various. You'll see on our website, you'll have a lot of case studies, and there are another 10 to be added this month.
Can you name one off the top of your head?
Most of them are small to medium ones. Applicor, Chart IQ, First Mile Geo, Treehouse, you might know them.
Yep.
So quite a few names out there. Yeah, Be Mobilized, Quater, Xenia. So
what's the current team size?
12 people right now.
And where are you guys based?
London.
London. Okay, so all in London.
Yeah, correct. I mean, we are working with a few remote people, but again, the head office is in London.
And then how are you getting these new customers? What's your process?
So far, everything came through word of mouth and referrals, basically. We haven't even started using Bant.io on Bant.io.
So your first customer, was this a company you knew or a friend or what?
First customer was Captify, but no, we basically ran like a $200 AdWords campaign right when we started, and everything took off from there.
So what's your process looks like? Be Mobilized puts their email in because they saw one of your ads and your $200 kind of ad set. You then what? You call them, you email them. What's the process?
Yeah, basically they get in touch for a demo. We explain them more about the process of the whole campaign, and of course it's also a discovery call to see whether we can help them or not, and we agree on certain segments that we can target for them. We discuss the deliverables, and everything starts from there. There is no long-term commitment. They can start, it's a month-to-month service.
Do you have an idea of what a customer's worth to you over their lifetime?
Yeah, absolutely. Around 7K right now and increasing.
And how do you get to that number?
Well, based on the average revenue per account and how many months they stayed with us. But again, they always come on and off the service.
So what is if you're forecasting a lifetime value of about $7,000, what are you willing to spend to acquire a new customer, and how are you spending that money currently?
Currently, we're not spending any money on acquiring.
Is that fully weighted though, Andrei? I know you mentioned you weren't spending anything on paid acquisition, but do you have inside salespeople or anything like that?
Not really. No, we don't. It's, again, everything came from referrals and word of mouth.
Who's doing the demos?
We've got 2 account managers. Basically, they're not salespeople. They also handle the customer relationships.
Okay, but they're doing kind of pre-customer onboarding work, like demos, like emailing back and forth, etc., right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you had a fully weighted customer acquisition cost, you'd include both their salaries and divide by number of new kind of customers per month, right? I mean, it sounds like it's marginal.
Yeah, sounds fair.
Yeah, but it's what you're saying. The reason you don't include that is it's marginal right now. It's low.
Yeah, very low, I would say.
Got it. Very cool. Okay, good. And what about? I guess because you have people kind of joining and then leaving kind of seasonally, asking what gross churn is isn't really a valuable question, is it?
No, we're measuring everything, as it would be a SaaS model, but it's really not. I mean, you can't talk about SaaS-based model when you've got $1,500 plans.
Yeah. What is gross customer churn monthly?
Around 25-30%.
Got it. So high, but that's just not your model. It's just it's different.
Exactly, but it does pay to look at it as it is a SaaS-based model, because it sort of forces you to increase all the metrics that matter, because those are the metrics that matter. But again, it shouldn't be compared with, I would say, the top inbox.
Yeah. How'd you find the top inbox?
Well, I was just looking at your LinkedIn profile, so.
Oh, got it. Yeah, I just acquired that company. I'm really excited about it. Where are you? Tell me more about kind of the data. So, I mean, a lot of this kind of data space is very ancestral. People buy Clearbit, Full Contact, all these other guys. Who are you paying to kind of increase the quality of your data?
Very good question. So, we got an internal software that we've got our own database. We have third-party software that plugs into that, but as a last step, we'll get that in a second. As a last step, before we upload the contacts into any campaign, we've got our own researchers that basically go through the whole list and are making sure that we've got the right contact details, that that person is still working for the company, and so on. This is the only way we can guarantee any results. Make sure that we've got top quality data.
How many people on your team do just that?
We're working with contractors on that. So
how many?
Around 8 people.
Okay, got it. Interesting. And then you mentioned some third-party data apps you plug into. Which ones?
Built With is one of them.
Yep.
I would say we are testing a few other in that area. That's for technology. Couldn't name more right now because some of them, they're just in the testing phase.
Okay, who are you testing though?
Don't want to tell.
Why?
Well, until we have a steady and working relationship with them, really wouldn't want to go into that right now. There's Anymail Finder. There's a few other.
Yeah, the reason I ask those questions is because it seems like everyone has their own version of a web crawler, but ultimately everyone just buys everyone else's data to double check themselves. And I always wonder, who is the true data source?
There is no one true data source, really. I would say LinkedIn is one of our main data sources. We've got our own tool that it's too much to say plugs into LinkedIn, but it's a software that basically pulls the email addresses of any LinkedIn profile. Well, I would say 70% of those. So LinkedIn is one of our main sources of contact.
Have they sent you a cease and desist after the Microsoft acquisition or no?
No.
Are you worried about that?
No, not really.
You don't think they will?
No. Well, I mean, yeah, there are always ways around it. And yeah, again, we've got our own database as well. So worst come to worst, we always have that.
Guys, I get asked all the time, Nathan, you host all these interviews, hundreds of them per month. How do you do them efficiently? And guys, the answer is simple. People always agree to my calendar, back-to-back meetings. I batch my interviews to stay very efficient. And the way that I do it is I use a tool called Acuity Scheduling at nathanlatka.com/schedule. And the reason I use them is very simple. They keep my no-show rate very low because they send out reminders about when the interview or the meeting is coming up. And also, they make it very easy to schedule time, right? I don't have to go back and forth via email 10,000 times with people I'm trying to meet with. Okay, at nathanlatka.com/schedule. Helps me so much. And by the way, look, I have so many meetings. I'm the best at meetings. Okay, I do them back to back, very, very efficient. You guys know me. Many people say I'm the most efficient they've ever seen. Okay, so I use the tool. It's so efficient. And by the way, I got Gavin. I said, Gavin, he's the CEO. I said, I want a great deal for my people. He said, Nathan, well, most people get a 14-day trial. Isn't that great? I said, no. He's given us a 45-day free trial at nathanlatka.com/schedule. That's not going to stay up forever, so go get it now. nathanlatka.com/schedule.
All right, Andrei, 5 last questions here with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
Think and Grow Rich.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
My son, Anthony Robbins and Elon Musk.
Anthony Robbins and Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Number 3, is there a favorite online tool you have, like HostGator?
Favorite online tool, I would say Trello.
Number 4, yes or no, do you get 8 hours of sleep every night?
No.
And what's your situation? Married, single, you have kids?
Married, no kids.
Okay, and how old are you?
32.
All right, last question. Take us back 12 years. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
I wish I would have caught the entrepreneurial bug a lot sooner. Always had it, but I would say it was always part-time.
Yep. Guys, there you have it from Andrei. He would have started his own company earlier or been a full-time entrepreneur quicker. We'll link to all of these resources in his show notes at nathanlatka.com/the top 556. Again, buildingbant.io to help folks get B2B, higher quality B2B leads. It's totally bootstrapped. They did a very small amount of revenue in 2015 because they just launched, but in the past 12 months, it's December 2016 now, they've done about $400K in revenue, hoping to again grow exponentially in 2017, again with their team of about 8 people or 12 people based in London. Lifetime value of a customer about $7,000 and current MRR somewhere around $37,000. Andrei, thank you for taking us to the top.
Thank you for having me, Nathan.
Okay, Top Tribe, I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. And don't forget, before you listen to any other episodes, subscribe on iTunes right now for your chance to win $100 every Monday.